Hi, I'm Ray Young. I'm an emeritus professor from the University of Wisconsin in Madison. And today I'm going to be continuing with my lectures on essential oils and perfumes, the basics. And today we will be talking about the characteristics of essential oils from blossoms. In the previous lecture we showed the variety of sources for essential oils. Plant blossoms, which we'll talk about today, plant leaves, roots and seeds, woody material, plant exudates such as frankincense and myrrh, animal sources, and synthetics. Perfume oils from blossoms will cover the bitter orange, the neroli oil, which is from the blossom, rose, jasmine, ylang-ylang, tuberose, and lavender. The essential oils from orange tree, we can get them from many parts of the plant. As I mentioned in my previous lecture, the orange tree is a good example. It's obtained from the bitter orange, which is Citrus aurantium, and the blossoms give, as I mentioned, the neroli oil. And this is most valued for perfumes. And any of you that have gone into an orange orchard or have an orange tree in your yard, which I do and go out there, smell it frequently, it definitely gives you a lift. They have, most of the essential oils are mood elevators. They have a very beneficial effect on your physiology and psyche. The aroma from essential oils basically goes right to your limbic system and has a strong effect on your mood. The fragrance of the neroli oil is very light and floral, citrusy. It can be orange honey type of aroma. Very extremely pleasant and very valued for perfumery. The leaves and twigs also provide an oil which is called petitgrain oil, and these are obtained by steam distillation, and it's used for cosmetics and soaps. And the fragrance in this case, as you may guess, is woody, kind of rosy wood or green floral, and another valuable commodity. And then the fruit peel, we get what is called the orange oil. And the fruit peel is, the oil is obtained by expression or simply pressing. There's also lemons. And the fragrance here is what we associate with oranges as sweet and juicy and kind of between a mandarin and a pomelo aroma. A very important source of essential oils, the whole orange tree. Now, perfume oils from roses are also a very valuable source of essential oils, and roses in many perfumes, certainly of course the florals. Now there's like 5,000 different varieties of roses. They're continually hybridizing them, but if you'll notice, you go into a rose garden, there's not much aroma of many of the roses. They bred them for appearance, and as a result the aromas, the essential oils, have been bred out to a great extent. But there are two very important roses still for collecting essential oils. The damask rose, which is grown in the Valley of the Roses in Bulgaria, Rosa damaskina, and the rose de maille, or Rosa centifolia, grown in France. And you know, we know the rose as a symbol of religiosity or spirituality. We give roses on anniversaries. They bring joy to the heart. So the rose essentially gives you an antidepressant effect, and it lifts the mood, as I mentioned, for many essential oils. Now this is a painting that I love. It's called The Perfume Maker from the 1800s, but it's showing all the roses that have to be collected to produce the rose oil. And it has minimal oil content compared to, for example, a rosemary or a lavender plant. And in this case, it takes about 4,000 petals to just get 1 liter, or roughly a quart, of essence. That means it's about 60,000 roses just for 1 ounce. And as you may guess, that makes the cost go up considerably, and it's over $4,000 a pound to the best quality rose oils. They're often adulterated with geranium oil, which has a similar aroma, so you have to be a little careful with your rose oil if you're getting a pure rose oil. And of course the fragrance is lemony, fresh, floral, clean, powdery nuances of wood and fruit. It's really an exceptional aroma. Jasmine is another plant that is widely utilized in many perfumes. It's from the Jasmine grandiflorium. There are many different species of jasmine, of course. They all have a jasmine type scent. but this one is particularly valued, the grandiflorium. It's cultivated in France, Spain, Egypt, and India. In France, it's said that one production unit controls all the growth in France. I believe it might be Chanel, to maintain their quality. When it's grown in different regions under different conditions, you can get different aromas even from a specific plant species. They're picked early before daybreak to get the best odor. And it's usually obtained by solvent extraction, since it's a very delicate blossom, rather than the steam distillation. And heat from the steam distillation can affect the properties of the essential oil. And it's also used in teas, as you know. And the fragrance here is narcotic, sweet floral, exotic, sultry, and sometimes greener area. And some say it has an animalic background to it. Another blossom that's utilized for collection of essential oils is Elaine. Elaine, it's called the flower of flowers. One of the reasons it's almost got the complete structure of a perfume, and that is the top, middle, and base notes, because of its complex chemical constituents. And it really is a very pleasant species. I've smelled it as an oil, but when I took this picture on the right in Samoa a number of years ago and smelled it right off the plant, it's really an exotic, wonderful smell. And like the other essential oils, it stabilizes emotion and helps with tension and depression. It's extremely valuable in many perfumes, and the fragrance is very rich floral with sweet, narcotic, and exotic tones. Tuberose, you may not be so familiar with. The plant that it's derived from is related to the agave. It has sort of these long, slender leaves, and it sends up a big spike in the center, and at the top of that spike are the blossoms, which are picked at bud stage. Chandler Burr, the curator of the Department of Olfactory Art, the new department at the Museum of Art and Design in New York City, called tuberose a flower with claws. And this was furthered by Roger Dove, a London perfumer, who called it the harlot of perfumery. It's really got a very exotic aroma, surprisingly carnal, a creamy, fleshy type of aroma. And it's an important component of the perfume fracas, which we'll talk about when we talk about the families of perfumes. Lavender. Very extensively used component in many perfumes, particularly men's perfumes. In this case, it's an aromatic, clean, almost medicinal odor with a licorice-like endpoint. I'm sure many of you have experienced a lavender. It's grown mostly in France and England. It was used in bathwaters for thousands of years by the Greeks, Romans, and Persians. And the word lavar is derived from as Latin for to wash. And we know, many of you probably know that it's commonly used as a sleep aid in sachets, and you can put a couple of droplets on your pillow to aid your sleep, but you do have to be careful. Remember, dosage in terms of these essential oils is very critical when you're using them for medicinal purposes. And so that's an important consideration. Okay, that completes our discussion of the essential oils from blossoms. In my next presentation, I'll talk about the collection and characteristics of essential oils from some other plant sources. Thank you.